goes through. Okay, looks like we are. Hey, it's Richard again from Arizona Game Fair 2022. I'm here with Nick from Bitewing Games. He is one of our exhibitors. He has a few games to show us today. So, Nick, welcome to the live stream.
Thank you. It's great to be here. It's my first time at Arizona Game Con. It's been a blast so far.
Yeah, we worked long time for this one. This one was many years in the making. So you got 3 or 4 games here.
4 games.
4 games here. All right. Well, so let's just kind of dive into it here. I'm going to switch to the table here. So we got Soda Smugglers. Is this your kind of first game you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we're Bitewing Games. We're working on 11 different games right now in various stages of development. We're kind of new to the scene, but our first games are actually a collection of 3 games known as the Criminal Capers Collection by Rainer Knizia. A lot of people are very familiar with Knizia's games, from Lost Cities to Tigris and Euphrates. He's been around for decades. So we started working with him, and we wanted to do a collection of 3 games that share a similar theme and thematic universe. And so this is why it's called Criminal Capers Collection. And this first game is one that we're really excited to talk about because it's essentially a lot like Sheriff of Nottingham, where you're trying to bribe and bluff your way to victory, but it's condensed in 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's something that you can break out as a quick and easy filler with gamers, and this is the case for all 3 of these games in the Criminal Capers Collection, or it's something that you can introduce to basically anybody, from your kids to your mom, and it's a great time, a lot of laughs to be had, especially with this game. So in Soda Smugglers, what's going on is each round one person acts as a border guard, and they get these tokens. There's the Accept Bribes token, the Make Arrest token, and the Inspect Suitcase token. Now this game goes from 3 to 8 players, so if you're playing with more players, you get more of these tokens to work with against the rest of the travelers. And what you're trying to do is collect the most bottle cap tokens. So each of these games has a standard version and a deluxe version.
Yeah.
They're set to release in June, so pretty soon. Manufacturing should be done next month. Unfortunately, we're about 1 or 2 weeks away from getting the final version of these. So,
well, I mean, it still looks really cool. I love the art style of this. This is it looks sort of like French or like that mid-century Disney movies, right? The mid-century Disney movies. Where there was kind of like overdrawn kind of style to it.
Yeah, the artist for all 3, his name is Paul Halcyon. I actually worked at a screen printing company with him several years back, and that's how I got to know him. He hadn't been in the board game industry up until we hired him for this. He does t-shirts and stuff, and so we love the art style he's gone with here. It's very colorful, very evocative. And he actually came up with what's really interesting is different soda brands as well.
Oh, sweet.
There's 6 different soda brands
let's turn them this way.
We let them go buck wild on here. So there's ones like Adel Tropic that looks like a pineapple soda bottle.
Nice.
There's Lime Snow Cow, and there's Lady Cola. You might see some references there to other things, some Salt Nods and Granny Bath Bubble. So really just some really fun art here to work with to kind of evoke that soda theme.
Well, that's very cool. Unleashing artists, I think, is one of those things that's just a fascinating part of the game industry that I don't think a lot of people understand. Is like this. I'm sure when Knizia was doing it, these were like beads and these were like little tiny chits, and then you give it to an artist and you bring it to life. So it's really important to get a good bit of art that really speaks to the game. So I think you've really done that here. So.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, like I said, the deluxe version comes with actually plastic bottle cap tokens, 80 of them, and these are kind of some early prototypes. The later ones will be shinier and stuff, but regular version is a little more affordable, comes with these, and they're still large, nice cardboard chits. So the way the game works is every player that's a traveler is dealt 5 of these suitcase cards. And so secretly, you look in your hand and you can pick 2 of them to be your luggage, and then you're going to pick 1 more to be your bribe. So all the travelers do this simultaneously, and then once they're ready, they simultaneously reveal their bribe to the border guard.
Okay.
And so at that point, this is the border guard's chance to first accept bribes if they'd like. So if they accept your bribe, then you have to pay them from your supply that designated number on the bribe. So I'd pay them 1 bottle cap, and then I reveal what I have, and that's how much I smuggled across. This wasn't a great choice for me because I didn't make a profit.
Right.
But as an example, I'd get one from the supply at that point. And then after accepting bribes, the border guard can inspect a suitcase. And so if another player, seems shady, can put their token on one of those hue and see what's going on there, and they see, okay, they're trying to get one across. Now in this game, it's legal to bring one across the border. If you have any more, then you're illegal at that point. So then after inspecting some suitcases from different travelers, the border guard can finally make an arrest. So if they think that this person is smuggling more than one suitcase, which is illegal, or more than one bottle, which is illegal, they can try to arrest them, and if they're right, they're going to confiscate those bottles from the supply and earn them for themselves. If they're wrong, then it's a bad arrest, and they have to pay that person 2 bottle caps of their own and apologize.
Yeah. So basically, this the way you had that set up is when you're bluff, after you've done a bunch of stuff and been caught a couple times, you throw out the, like, actually I'm doing something legal here.
Yes.
You do that, and then you go, haha, sucker, I gave my cap back, right? So, like,
exactly.
Cool.
It's really funny to see how people, start out, and then you get a feel for how they're acting, and then when they pivot, if they pivot, there's the double bluff going on as well.
Right.
In this game, there's also event cards. It's in like additional module you can add to it that mixes up the feel of each individual round. And those are really fun to play with as well. But yeah, that's the premise of Soda Smugglers. A lot of fun in 20 minutes.
Yeah, very nice, very cool.
Great, so I'm going to clean this off real fast here. Get on to the next game.
Yeah, just like, this is the real gamer table. Like, you just got like large amounts of stuff on it.
All over the place. So second game of the Criminal Capers collection is known as Mafiosi. So what's going to happen, this is like a trick-taking game, but the twist is that you want to be the second highest card of a trick in order to win it.
Oh.
And what happens is...
Who's the designer on this?
This is all 3 of these are random.
Oh, excellent.
Yep, and so he's very good at coming up with very simple, elegant, easy to teach games that have more depth to them than you realize as you start to play it, right?
Very nice.
And that's very much the case for this game as well. So in this game, there's a deck of cards that go from 1 to 55. This game has 19 character illustrations to them. So Paul really went wild with
these are very cool.
The Puma Mafiosi characters here. And yeah, it's been delightful to see what he comes up with, And so yeah, these cards go from 1 to 55, and you have a deck of them, your own personal draw pile, but you only have 3 of them in your hand at once. And what happens, like a trick, everybody goes around and plays 1 card at a time.
Here, let me show the box cover, beautiful box cover.
These boxes are going to be smaller and actually square, and so I had to extend. There's kind of some dead space at the top of it, but yeah, it'll be nicer in the final version. But yeah, so everybody plays 1 card at a time. Like I said, the second highest card wins the trick. So let's suppose it was this 24 that was the second highest played between everybody. They win the trick, and if it was the orange player, they would take their orange player token, which is like their family tile here. They place it on the card designated to theirs, and then they decide where in the hierarchy it's going to go. At the end of the round, once things are filled up and you played out all of your cards, you're going to score for each of your cards wherever they're at on hierarchy. This would be a 5-point spot.
Oh, nice.
Where 24 is kind of in the middle of a 1 to 55, you might choose that if you're playing it safe, but you could choose even higher. Even if higher cards are down below, you can kind of push your luck and go above them, right? I could go here.
Okay.
And the catch is that in later tricks, if a higher card than yours comes in, somebody else, say purple comes in here, they win a trick, they can go anywhere they want to an empty spot, or they can go to a spot that is taken up by a lower value card.
I see.
And what happens is that this card would get bumped down, and you not only lose points when you drop, but you also take penalty points, so it's like a double whammy. And so our point tokens here, these are the deluxe ones. The regular ones I'm showing, or the regular ones are in just cardboard. The deluxe ones I'm showing here are poker chips. But here's your positive points, and then your negative points. When you drop, each step that you drop, you put a negative point on your negative point card here. And so you drop 1, but then See, this card is still lower than that one, so it's possible to just cascade down to wherever you fit best, and then you can bump more
You
cards
push your
down.
luck way too hard in that situation.
Right, and if this one got bumped down, it would bump this one, and it would bump that one. So
Right.
things kind of get crazy as time goes
And
on.
everybody gets down to -3. Yeah.
So you play 3 rounds of this total, it's like three tricks, or
Yeah.
3 hands, 3 rounds, and there's also an item module where you have like one-time use item tokens that can protect you like a bulletproof vest, or they can kind of double your score at the end, but it also doubles the penalty points you take if you drop. So there's some really interesting advanced modules as well for this game.
Okay, neat. Very cool.
So that's Puma Fiosi. And the last game in the Criminal Capers collection is called Hot Lead. So in this one, you are criminal investigators trying to collect these evidence cards. There's 5 different kinds of evidence, or 5 different colors that you're trying to collect, and they have point values in and of themselves, and so you're just trying to get the higher value ones, right? But if you happen to get 3 of a kind, at the end of the game you'll get 10 bonus points.
Okay.
If you get all 4 colors, you get another 10 bonus points.
Okay.
So that's the objective here. The catch is that if you ever end up with a 4th of the same color, then you've investigated too aggressively, and the criminals of this genre, the frauds, smell a rat and they go dark, so you lose all those cards.
I see.
And so there's a push your luck element to this, but the other side of it is that there's an auction that goes on, and so every round, if we're playing a 3-player game, we'll put out 3 of these cards, and everybody has, again, a hand of cards. These cards go from 1 to 55. These also have 19 character illustrations on them, so you've got things like the elephant, who's the Bucks feature character, the penguin, the bulletproof vest, and llama. There's a lot of fun characters in this one as well, from the same artist.
Nice.
Anyway, so what happens is players will simultaneously pick a card from their hand, play it face down, and then reveal it at the same time. And so the highest card that's played is going to take the one that's closest to the deck.
I see.
Next highest takes the next one, lowest takes the last one.
So you could plan, but it's sort of like, it's not necessarily like you're going to get that card, right? It's going to be like, oh, okay, well, it's sort of a middling card, so maybe I'll get the middle. So yeah.
You're trying to outthink your opponents essentially and outfox them as far as, if I know you have 3 orange already, I want you to bust. And so maybe I try to play a really high card, and I hope that the other opponent tries to play a really low card, so we stick you with that.
Or you could both go, oh, I'm going to both play it, and then they get this card instead of that card.
Yeah, and so it's a really clever auctioning mechanism, because low cards are just as good as high cards. It just depends on how these come out of the deck, essentially, in what order. There's also 2 really awesome models with advanced models with this as well. There's these Sheriff Star tokens that encourage you to be the first to get 2 cards of a color, because then you'll earn the corresponding token to give you 5 more points. There's also these back alley cards. I don't know if there's one right there. So these can kind of stack with these when they come out, making spots more valuable or making spots even worse to take, losing you points.
So they come out. How do these come out?
So when they come out of the deck, if they come out first like that,
Oh,
you
then
keep
you have to
stacking
keep
on
stacking
top
on
until
top.
you get a regular card. So
Oh,
it's
so-
possible to get like something really crazy,
yeah.
like a whole bunch in a row.
I see.
Before that
I see.
stops it and you
that
move on
does
to
make
the
it more interesting of what you're really bidding on there.
Yeah, and so it really changes up the feel of each game. This one has a surprising amount of depth to it. I think a lot of gamers are really going to enjoy it. So that is Hot Lead.
Excellent. That looks like a lot of fun. These all look like a lot of fun. They're packed. You can get them all in a very tight bag, and you can just throw them out. That's a great combination. And
Right.
and this art, I want to see the like cartoon series or the movie with this art. I love
That's so
it.
fun. Yeah,
So-
Paul killed it. And like I said, these come out in June. You can still pre-order them from our website at bitewinggames.com. We're doing a discount for the bundle for both the standard and deluxe versions. So, we appreciate the support.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Nick. This has been we're from Arizona Game Fair.
Are we out of time? Did you want to see Trailblazers
Oh,
too?
absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry.
You're good.
It's been one day and it's been a long week already.
Morning's
So-
just getting started here.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna move this stuff on down here.
Yeah, real briefly, I'll just share Trailblazers here.
It's all down here like this.
A lot of cards going around. So this is our next one, coming to likely Kickstarter in July-ish, if not sooner. This is Trailblazers by Ryan Courtney. Those who are familiar with Pipeline or Curious Cargo, they'll recognize these tiles here. So the difference here is this is a 30-minute game for 1 to 8 players, and it's very focused and streamlined on the puzzle route building aspect of the game.
Streamlined, you say? There's a stream and it's streamlined. All right.
Yeah, right. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So Ryan's made very, very heavy games, and this one, I think it's going to surprise people because it's very approachable. You can teach it very quickly and get really anyone into it. But there's still a lot of depth there, as fans of Ryan Courtney have come to love. So in this game, all you're doing is you're drafting cards like in Seven Wonders Sushi Go. You draft 2 cards per turn, and you do that for 4 rounds. And you're building these out next to each other. You can also overlap cards, so there's a lot of flexibility to this game to change up your route and edit things as you go. But what you're trying to do is complete loops. So this would be like a really simple loop to complete. Whereas this one, I could keep building out around here and close it over on this side.
Right, and then you could take this card and place it here and change things completely.
And change it completely, and decide to do a longer loop essentially. The bigger your loops, the more points you get. There's an element to push your luck as well, though, because by the end of the game, if you don't close a loop, you don't score anything on it. It could be the coolest, longest thing in the world, but if it doesn't get back to its campsite, then it's like a bust.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see like expert people push their luck and fail, while new people play it safer and they can still win a game. And so there's a nice level playing field there, depending on your play style. But anyway, this game comes with 3 solo modes that Ryan's really been focused on as well. One of them is currently available on Tabletop Simulator that you can find on our website, as well as there's 2 expansions for placing animals and traveling figures that change the feel of the game as well. So that's kind of a brief synopsis of Trailblazers. You can learn more about it at our website, and I don't want to take up too much of your time.
No, thank you very much, Nick. Bitewinggames.com. You're demoing all weekends?
Yeah, we'll be here all weekend, and for those who miss out, you're welcome to subscribe to our newsletter and follow all these things. So
very exciting.